Myself, Kanchana Narasimhan, from the Department of Geography, Kirorimal College. Today, I would be telling you about the ecosystem and ecosystem services. Since our school days, we have always heard the term ecosystem and we know what it is all about. But let us still delve into the term ecosystem. The term ecosystem consists of two words, eco plus systema. The term eco has come from the word oikos, meaning household, and systema, meaning system. Therefore, when we combine these two terms, we get the term ecosystem, which was coined by Sir A.G.Tansley in the year 1935. The term household or eco refers to the people in the house, meaning the family members, the servants, pets, plants, insects, etc. Whereas the term system means there is input, process, and output. So when we combine these two terms, that is ecosystem, it simply means there is an interaction between the living or the biotic elements and the non-living, that is the abiotic elements of our environment. To understand the ecosystem, we need to know that there are two important aspects of the ecosystem, which are one, its structure, and two, its function. Structure of an ecosystem simply refers to the arrangement of the living and the non-living components of the environment. Now, one would think that how these living and the non-living elements of the environment are arranged. The non-living elements of the environment comprise of sunlight, air, water, humidity, air pressure, soil, mineral composition of the soil, etc. The living elements of the environment are arranged in a manner which is graphically represented in an ecological pyramid. And this pyramid consists of two main parts, that is, one, the producers or autotrophs, and two, the consumers or the heterotrophs. Or autotrophs are the ones which form the base of the ecological pyramid, and they are the ones who convert energy into food and are eaten or consumed by the different consumers. These autotrophs are of two types, namely one, photoautotrophs, and two, chemoautotrophs. The photoautotrophs are those organisms which convert radiant energy or the energy produced by the sun into usable forms. Therefore, they are known as photoautotrophs. This category of autotrophs includes green plants, phytoplanktons, trees, etc. Chemoautotrophs, on the other hand, produce their own food not with the help of sunlight but with the help of the energy produced from the earth, meaning the energy that is produced from the interior of the earth, and this energy comes out in the form of thermal energy or the geothermal energy. This geothermal energy is generally found around the hydrothermal vents in deep oceans. Examples of chemoautotrophs include chemosynthetic bacteria. The second category in the ecological pyramid is comprised by the consumers or the heterotrophs. These consumers or heterotrophs derive their food or energy by eating other organisms. The first category under consumers are the primary consumers or herbivores. They get their food from green plants. These herbivores are then consumed by the carnivores. The carnivores then are consumed by tertiary carnivores or secondary carnivores. At the apex of the ecological pyramid are the decomposers, which mainly comprise of microorganisms. These microorganisms are very essential because they decay and decompose organic matter and return the nutrients back into the environment and thus help in the cycling of these nutrients in the entire ecosystem. Another important aspect of the ecosystem is ecosystem functioning. This simply refers to the movement of matter and energy within the ecosystem. Now let us see how energy and matter move in the different trophic levels. The producers, particularly the green plants, blue-green algae, etc., they take energy from the sun and convert it into chemical energy of food. The primary consumers eat the photoautotrophs and the energy from the plants is transferred to the herbivores. The herbivores in turn are eaten by the carnivores and the energy again is transferred from the herbivores to the carnivores. And finally, when plants and animals die and decompose, the energy from them is transferred to the microorganisms. When the process of photosynthesis is occurring, what happens is the green plants, they derive not only solar energy from the sun, but also derive water from the soil and other nutrients from the soil. They also are able to uptake carbon dioxide. And during the process of photosynthesis, they produce carbohydrates. Not only this, they also are able to produce different kinds of fruits, which in turn contain fruit minerals and vitamins. For obvious reasons, when the herbivores eat these plants, these nutrients are passed on from the producers to the herbivores and then to the carnivores and finally to the microorganisms. Please note that the structure of an ecosystem and its functioning are interdependent or are complementary to each other, because without the structure, the functioning of an ecosystem cannot exist, and mere structure is actually not so important. So therefore, we can say that both the structure and the functioning go hand in hand. And this hand in hand depiction is understood through food chains and food webs. Now, we will come to another interesting and amazing topic: ecosystem services. What exactly are ecosystem services? The ecosystem actually provides us many benefits, and all these benefits put together or bundled together are called ecosystem services. One would think, what are these ecosystem services? If we look around us, the ecosystem and our natural environment is actually providing us many gifts or endowments which we fail to recognize, or we actually take them for granted. Exactly. These are the ecosystem services. These ecosystem services are of four types. One, supporting services. Two, provisioning services. Three, regulatory services. And four, cultural and aesthetic services. Supporting services are also known as the basic services because they actually provide the basis or the foundation for other services. These services, that is, the supporting services, include soil formation, soil fertility, rainfall, sunlight, vegetation, oxygen, etc. Now, you would think, why these are called supporting services? Simply, without these services, the other three services cannot exist at all. Provisioning services form the second category of ecosystem services. These are nothing but the material outputs of any ecosystem and include food, raw material, medicines, materials for ornamentation, and energy resources. The regulating services originate from different ecosystem processes and help in maintaining stability in the ecosystem. This category of services include water regulation, water purification, flood control, disease and pest control, waste decomposition, carbon sequestration, etc. If these regulating services or regulatory services are absent, then it would automatically lead to ecosystem instability. Now we come to the last category of ecosystem services. This is known as the cultural and aesthetic services or recreational services. One would wonder what these are. These services are the non-material benefits derived from an ecosystem, which include ecotourism, different monuments, pilgrimage, artistic features like paintings, poetry, our cultural heritage. All these, in one way or the other, are the indirect benefits that the ecosystem provides us. This small presentation regarding ecosystem and ecosystem services would highlight the importance and the role played by the ecosystem in our lives. And I believe that this would also encourage each one of us to conserve and preserve our natural environment in the best possible way so that our future generations would be in a position to enjoy all these services.